Hi everyone, welcome back to Hickory Lane Studios. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you through all the materials I use to customize and repaint my model horses. So here is Mickey, and he was finished in August. And so the materials I'm using are the materials you'll be able to use to create custom pieces like this. So he is a repaint and a resculpt. So I'm going to take you through the materials I use for sculptural customization as well as finish work. Ignore my paint covered hands. I shot this video like 3 months ago at this point, but I think I was painting something and frustrated hand motions. So first off, I'm going to start with my favorite 2-part epoxy sculpt. I love this stuff, it's great. The tape is because the lid cracked. But it is a 2-part mixture and I use the white. You can use any color. Most people use either white or natural, but the consistency does vary with different colors. So epoxy checks all the boxes, and it's not the only 2-part epoxy modeling compound out there. There's Magic Sculpt, there's Milliput, there's many more. The great thing about epoxy putties is that you don't have to bake them in the oven, and that's great for working with plastic models that would melt in the oven. And they dry to very hard, durable consistency. They are resistant to cracking. They're paintable, sandable, primable, sealable. Like, you can do anything with epoxy sculpt. So it's a really great medium. If you don't have this, definitely add this to your materials. Comes from the store in this 2-part A and B kit. Buy this online. It's not cheap, but it's really great. You can see here I made this tail with it. It's really hard, really durable, not prone to cracking at all. And this mane as well. Gosh, this footage is old. I've completed these guys. All right, I always have a cup of water. Epoxy works best with water. Magic Sculpt works best with 90% isopropyl alcohol, so I've heard. Milliput, I'm not sure. But here is some Florist wire, and Florist wire and wires of different sizes are super valuable to creating armatures for your pieces. I also love to use sewing needles and silicone sculpting tools for my sculpting. Needles create dynamic hair, and silicone sculpting tools help with hair, but they also help create really nice, smooth texture with your clay. My favorite sculpting tool would definitely have to be my fingers, though. So moving on to sandpaper. Sandpaper is really important. I use a 400 and 600 grit sandpaper for normal dry sanding, and an 800 and 1200 grit sandpaper for wet sanding. Dry sanding gets the model pretty smooth, and wet sanding gets them really hyper smooth, fixes major imperfections. So I use both techniques. And then I use this Tamiya fine surface primer for picking out those little imperfections in my models. Making them a uniform color is super helpful. This stuff is great. It's really smooth. You can see here this model has a really nice smooth finish. He's been wet sanded and primed. So you need this brush in your collection of brushes. I don't know what kind it is, but it's great. It's wide, it's flat, it makes base coating really easy. Just look at this brush in action. This thing is great. It makes base coating really easy. It took the time from 30 minutes per coat to 2 minutes per coat. It's fantastic. You need one. I don't know where it's from. Don't ask. Pebeo porcelain liner. Great stuff. Adds vein details to your model. Really nice extra detail there. Windsor and Newton matte varnish. Great sealant. Best sealant I've tried so far. I use this for all my models now. I was using a different sealant before, but this one's super matte, the pastel stick. Speak of the devil, here are PanPastels. I have a lot of colors. You don't need this many colors to start. This is just what I've acquired over the I don't know how long of using pastels, about a year. They're not cheap, but they're like a really nice investment, and they elevate your models. You don't need PanPastels necessarily. Just any pastels will do. You can buy chalk pastels from the store, just plain and simple. PanPastels, though, are the most pigmented ones that I've tried. They're very popular among model horse artists in the community. They're a really great choice if you're looking to upgrade your customization of your models. So you can see how the PanPastels added shading to my custom. You start with a lighter base and you shade over top of that with PanPastels and build up the layers, leaving areas lighter and areas darker depending on the shading of your horse in your reference picture. So these are really great. I'd highly recommend getting them. I started with the Rust Earth Kit, but black and gray and stuff are all very, very useful colors. I have a lot, but yeah, they're fun. I kind of collect them now. And I got this shiny set, this Rust Earth Kit, and then some individual shades as well. So makeup brushes, these are great. Not for me, they're for the ponies. So by the brand Jessup, I believe, and they're really nice to apply the pastels with. You want soft, fluffier brushes like this. And there's a variety of shapes to get into every nook and cranny on your model. All right, Liquitex acrylic paint, heavy body acrylic. Lovely stuff. I love this stuff. Best paint I've tried. It's not too matte, it's not too shiny, it's just the right combination. Then you use these tiny liner brushes for detailing with some watered out paint, some watered out Liquitex acrylic. And I use my Liquitex for all the things. I use it for base coating, for detailing, for everything. And I love these little brushes. They're so nice. They don't look this nice anymore. They're covered in paint. But they're really small and great for getting in those delicate hair details, delicate little details. Not sure how to pronounce that brand name. Not sure where they came from. They were a Christmas gift. But anyways, that is it for my materials. Thank you all so much for watching this video and for watching it to the end. I hope you did enjoy or learned something. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye!